Oh, yeah.
Nice to get completion on this one, really, before we get on the next one.
And your character kind of gets, it's great, you kind of get into a much deeper,
this was the first chance we really had to sort of, dive into the into his head, so that's great for me. I loved it.
Ready to rock? This is the sixth book, obviously, and this is really where everything hits the fan, and for your character, there's that real sense that at last he wants to prove himself to be bad to the bone, and I don't know, for you as an actor, I think that was quite the challenge, because you really have to come into your own here. You're the chosen one as well.
Sure. I mean, you really have to look at it like he is the Harry Potter of the bad side, really, and he revels in that. I think at first he's always been jealous of Harry's sort of his status of being the chosen one, and now he gets to be the Voldemort's chosen him. So I think at first he revels in it, and then it's only sort of later on when he gets into the severity of what he's actually doing that he starts to crumble, and I think he has ulterior thoughts. But like you say, it's a real range, which is good for me, because usually he's slightly two-dimensional, whereas in this film he really got a chance to sort of go past that and go into sort of his true feelings, really.
You've said recently that for a while there you kind of treated it as a kind of years of taking this job for granted, and now you really feel you want to make the most of it, because you really you can kind of see the end in sight, and you want to kind of take mementos, get a lot of photographs, and there must be that sort of swell of a feeling that we can see the horizon now. We're about
exactly that. I mean, it's quite daunting in a way, and quite it's a little bit scary when you think about it, and it's sad as well. That's going to be over soon. So I'm doing exactly that. I mean, I'm getting all my scripts signed. I'm getting pictures, every day, and just trying to. I mean, obviously it's very. You're not allowed to take pictures, and you're not allowed to. So it's very limiting on what we can take mementos of. But when we're in the makeup chair and all that stuff, we always have a laugh. So getting plenty of mementos for the years to come.
Well, there is that side of it too, that there's so many millions of kids out there who would just give anything to be part of this Potter world. And I don't know, for you, given the length of time that it's taken, and by the time the last film comes out in 2011, that's 10 years of films.
Yeah.
Whether sometimes it is just another day at the office, because
it's kind of strange. Like you say, as a kid, I remember as a child we were doing. I was actually told. I remember it was during a sports day. I was doing a javelin tournament, and my teacher came up to me and told me that my mum had a phone call for me, and she told me then and there that I have the part of Draco, which I was obviously happy about, but I had no idea it was going to be. I was still going to be there 9 years on, so to speak. So it's quite bizarre to think that it is almost a day at the office now, because we've done it for so long. But at first, I had no idea quite what we were getting into. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly a very exciting day at the office if it is.
I was going to say too, your work outside of Harry Potter, you've been fairly kind of relatively quiet. You had Home from Twins in 99, then they disappeared last year, and you've 13 Hours, I think, this year, and Emma of Lulworth Cove, I think, this year.
Yeah, there's lots of projects.
Possible.
Emma of Lulworth Cove, unfortunately, has sunk as of now.
All right.
But there are plenty of other sort of quite major budget British films, nothing on the scale of HP, obviously, that have been really interesting scripts and stuff. So there's plenty to look forward to, and there's certainly life after Potter, so I'm not too worried about that just now.
And has your attitude changed about film acting
Hugely,
over those years?
Massively. I mean, the last year, for the first 3-4 years I did it, I wasn't even that keen. I wasn't sure whether this was going to be the thing for me, so to speak. But with filming HP6, it was my first real opportunity to sink my teeth into a character and see if it was successful. I mean, if it was a complete failure, I don't think I would have developed the passion that I had. But David Yates was always very complimentary and very, encouraging, which made me feel very confident. And in turn, I've had some very nice compliments about it when people have seen it. So that sort of fills me with drive and passion, and certainly the desire to do it for the rest of my life.
Well, the one thing that probably surprised people is that if the acting hadn't been something that you wanted to continue, certainly you seem to be very drawn to, because of one of your older brothers, the fishing industry and the fisheries management you wanted to study.
Yeah.
And that seems like a bizarre choice, because most kids.
I know, I had a lot of children saying, "What are you doing?" Well, my older brother's a fisherman, so I've been doing that. I've been doing that as a hobby for a long time, and truth be told, I think as a kid, I think I said that once as a passing gesture, and It just spread like wildfire. So I've been stuck with this plague now of, are you going to become a fisherman? It's like, no, that was a few years ago now.
And do you feel, the very last thing, do you feel it's sort of an anxiety when a new Potter film opens? Because the most successful film franchise in history, overtaken Bond now, 4.48 billion, I think, around the world. And there's no question these last 3 films are probably going to do pretty well. I don't know whether you actually feel anxious for them when you think, I really want these.
Personally, yes, very much so in this one, because obviously I put quite a lot of myself into it. I mean, I won't lie, in previous ones, it's only ever been fairly two-dimensional work, so I know my performance doesn't hinder the film at all. Whereas in this one, I do feel like I contribute, and if I was terrible, then it would bring the film down. So I like to think that, I'm certainly very excited. Yesterday was the first chance I got to see it with a live audience, and that makes a big difference. Seeing their reactions as and when you're doing lines, and this moments of silence on the screen. It's fantastic.
Rock and roll. I'll be giving the friendly finger. Very
Rock
nice to
and
talk to you. Yeah.
Been a pleasure, man. Thanks for all the good questions. They're great.
I think I did very well. If you want to see more quizzes, click here and subscribe.